This is blog post number 4, and I will cover why does sine and cosine not have isotopes, but the other 4 trig graphs do. Okay, so we know that the 4 trig graphs that do have isotopes are tangent, cotangent, secant, and cosecant. And the ones that do not are sine and cosine. Okay, the reason for this, we all know it's due to the unit circle. For example, we know that sine is the ratio of y over r, while cosine is the ratio of x over r. We know that a unit circle, r is equal to 1. So if we look at some points in our unit circle, for example, we look at 0, pi over 2, pi, and 3 pi over 2, which is the same as 0, 90 degrees, 180 degrees, and 270 degrees. These are ordered pairs, and for example, if we do sine, which is y over r, it's going to be 0 over 1, which gives us 0. And if we do cosine, it's going to be 1 over 1, which gives us 1. And this proves that if we do this for any other ordered pair, it's not going to give us, it's always going to give us a value. It's never going to be undefined, because undefined is the same as having an isotope. Okay, so for example, we can use, so for example, we have these 4, which is, if we use our identities, we know that tangent was sine over cosine, and meaning that it's y over x, sorry. And if we look in any of these ordered pairs, wherever cosine is equal to 0, that will be undefined. For example, let's try 90 degrees. So we have sine over cosine, which is 1 over 0, and that is undefined, meaning that here we have an isotope, and the same thing happens at 3 pi over 2, which is the same as saying negative 1 over 0, which gives us undefined. Also, if we go to cotangent, we have, which is the cosine over sine. And we know that wherever sine is equal to 0, that's going to mean undefined. So meaning x over y, and wherever y is equal to 0. And that happens at 0, which is, if we would have, it would be 1 over, which is undefined, meaning here is an isotope, and at pi. So we would have negative 1 over 0, which is undefined, and here we have an isotope. Okay, so now for secant and cosecant, we know that cosecant is the reciprocal of cosine, meaning it's 1 over x. And where x equals 0, we're going to have undefined, meaning at 90 degrees, let's say we have 1 over 0, that's going to give us undefined, meaning here we have an isotope, and the same thing happens at 270 degrees, where we're going to have 1 over 0, which is the same as undefined. And now cosecant is the reciprocal of 1 over sine, meaning it's going to be 1 over y, and wherever y equals a value of 0, meaning at 0 degrees, which is going to give us 1 over 0, which is undefined, meaning here we have an isotope, and at 180, which is 1 over negative, which is at 1 over 0, which gives us undefined, meaning there is an isotope. And this is why there are no isotopes in sine and cosine, but in the other 4